Hey guys, it's Country Girl 30. This is the Character Monster Profiles Part 3. I might be doing a Part 4 and maybe Part 5, maybe with the DLCs. I'm just trying to, I didn't realize how many I was going to have to go through, so I'm only revealing the ones that Gabriel has encountered so far, not the ones we haven't got to yet, because I don't want to do any spoilers right now. So, I'm not sure if I did Vincent Dorian. He's the old addict. This guy, he was basically in Wygall Village, maybe right at the base of it, when the vampires came, and instead of, sharing his holy relic, which was holy water, with the people around, protecting them from the vampires coming after them every night, what he did was he had basically boarded himself up in the old Abbey Tower with the holy water, keeping all vampires and humans out, and basically he stockpiled everything, basically like, for the end of the world practically. Trying to keep, everyone and himself inside, and he basically just went crazy soon after. And he basically just, he did eventually, he really did go crazy. And, yeah. He's a guy that just basically, he was just like me first and just push everybody aside, grabbing whatever he could and running like hell. That's basically, him. But with him being an old priest, couldn't he have made, plenty of holy water for everybody instead of just taking that one little bit of holy water and hiding it? That'd been so much easier. But nope. He was selfish. Now for Laura. Basically, Laura was the little girl we were seeing in the vampire castle. The one that wanted Gabriel to do vampire chess with her, which I don't like chess, and I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't play chess, and I just, I didn't want to do it. So that's why I chickened out. But with Laura, I love her. Just seeing this whole picture of her, it's just like every time I see her hair up like that, and the way she talked with Gabriel and stuff, all I could see is Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman in it with her hair like that. And I'm just like, sweetie, you need to do something different with your hair. I know your hair's long, but could you have done different braids other than that? Because it just don't look around on a girl your age. Even though she's a few centuries old, even though that basically she's in the child of, basically the appearance of a child. But basically, Carmilla, I assume she wanted to be a mother. What she had done was, I guess she found Laura somewhere and just fell in love with her and thought, she'd be perfect, to be my surrogate daughter. And kidnapped her, probably, maybe more or less persuaded her in becoming a vampire. And because basically the way, in this universe, how blood, how making a vampire works is, basically, you have to exchange blood. Like, Carmilla took some of Laura's blood, and Laura had to take some of Carmilla's blood, thus siring and turning her into a vampire. And from then on, she never aged. Laura never did. And basically, she started playing, over the few centuries of her basically getting used to her new abilities and her vampire self, she basically started playing around with her victims, whether they were soldiers or just, townsfolk that had somehow gotten into the castle alive. She loved toying with them and had basically subjected them to playing vampire chess, and if they lost, of course, they were eventually, gonna die. Just after she had her fun with them. Okay, here's Baba Yaga, the crazy witch. But yeah, this is what I was reading up. I don't know if it's Slovakian or European or Romanian folklore about her. Basically, she eats kids. She lives in a cabin that, basically walks around with a pair of chicken legs. Yeah, I don't want a picture of that. It's just weird, but yeah. But yeah, basically what she was so obsessed with in Chapter 9, when we first encountered her, was her blue rose to make her young and pretty again for a little while. And the way she looked, she was going to eat a ton of them. like a giant bath of them just to kind of jump in and just sit in a long time for them. But yeah, I mean, she does help them. It's just basically she just, wants you to do stuff for her so that, she can get her rose if you do something for her. It's just some of the stuff, well, she don't care if you die or not. It's just, I guess she eats your soul or eats what's left of you or something. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, I'm not gonna read him. Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, give me one moment, guys. I think this is, yep, no, I don't know right there. Okay. Yeah, I read up on Cornell, I think. Yeah, I did. I don't think I read up on the Chupacabra. Basically, the Chupacabra, he's an annoying little shit that has been appearing everywhere, and I believe in this next part we're going to be doing very soon in chapter 10, we're going to be encountering him one last time, and he's an annoying little shit. Because I forgot he talked. It's just those few times he was just more or less smacking his ass, sitting there looking at you, laughing, and pointing his fingers at you like you ain't going to get me and stuff. But yeah, basically what this thing is, he likes to basically, be traveling on the roadside. Basically, any human or, whether they got good power or relics or anything he likes, he seizes from them, and basically what he does is, they're not evil, they're just more or less just, like teasing the shit out of you until you get your stuff back, if you can go get your stuff from him. But I can't stand this little asshole. I can't, but I mean, I do like his eyes. But it's just, I can't stand this little shit. Okay, here's the Sword Master. These are the ones that, we would have encountered them if I fought the Crow Witch. Because she was in, these things were in the tower where the Crow Witch was. But these things were all over the vampire castle. But yeah. Basically, these things were once brave warriors that they didn't want to leave, they didn't want to leave this world behind, and they decided to stay behind, and eventually, over time, they lost their minds, and they wanted to basically, go after anything living. Whereas Gabriel comes in, and they just love basically going after him. And of course, they dressed in rags, they got swords. They basically just don't remember anything about being human at all. And these things are real easy to take out with holy water, from what I've used. And you can use a crystal on them, and it does work on them, it's just they are annoying as hell. I don't think I pulled it, oh no, yeah, I remember pulling this up, okay. Yeah, here's the ghoulie. These things, I think that, hold up. Well, actually, I think I did read up on these things. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, sorry. Yeah, read up on him. Sorry, guys. Give me one moment. I don't think I read up on these guys. I read animated armor guys. Basically, they're just tin cans that are given like temporary life by a ghost. I think I actually did read up on these things. Whatever, I'm gonna read them on again. Basically, they serve the vampire lord, Carmilla, by basically just strolling around the castle and corridors. Basically, well, hold up, sorry. Yeah, these things are not as bad to fight. It's just I'd rather use a crystal on them because it's a whole lot faster. Because if you do swing at them, of course, they'll get you a couple times. It's just you have to be kind of careful, and it takes a good few minutes for you to take these things out. But yeah, basically they just stroll around the castle, basically defending the castle. And if you're an enemy, like if you're in Brotherhood armor or anything, they don't give a shit about you. They're just gonna smack you around like they've been doing Gabriel. Okay, and there's Brawner. I think we done read up on him. Yeah, we done read up on him. Alright, here's a skeleton warrior, the darn pieces of shit that will not leave you alone. Yeah. Hold up, I'm sorry, I'm kind of reading this. Yeah, these things were once human, from what I just read. Uh, well, the ones that she didn't turn into vampires, basically, they were turned into skeleton warriors by a spell of a puppeteer. And I think it might have been Carmel that most likely did this. Basically, well, they're really hard as hell to fight. You basically, well, when you destroy the first part of them, you have to basically move your whip down as fast as you can. Basically, the way I like doing it is the guillotine, or hold X and you can smack the ground as hard as you can and it'll destroy them for good. Because if we don't, they will come back up, as you've already seen me fighting them several times. And they're annoying, that's why I like using the crystal and holy water on them. The daggers, they help some, it's just more or less that they're swatting flies away. That's basically how it is to me. Yep, the mandragoras, these are the small little green things that have been following me throughout the castle gardens. And, well, they were actually in the area near where Baba Yaga's hut was. Basically, these things are harmless. These things, oh yeah, these were in the Harry Potter movies. If you've never watched Harry Potter, I suggest you watch it. I can't remember the lady's name, but basically, if you skip ahead to the greenhouse, I think it's in Chamber of Secrets, these things are in it. I forgot all about them because I remember these things, that they scream loudly. Basically, well, I think these things might be a little bit different than the Harry Potter movies. These things do scream, but these things, they basically drain your life energy. They're very easy to take out, as you've already seen. If you can use the crystal on them if you want, but it's just, if you don't hit them right quick enough, they duck back into the ground. And basically, they're like moles or voles, however you want to call them. They just dig up under the ground, and basically they just go find a place to hide and pop back up near where you are, and they come right up at you, and basically they just go right at you. Alright, here's the nasty evil butcher. He is basically the cook, for the vampires. Basically, well, Carmela used this butcher to basically feed the ghouls, wargs, probably werewolves most likely, and anything else in the castle. He, of course, ran around, his kitchen and everywhere with a giant meat cleaver for a weapon. He's not much of a fighter, as you've seen. He likes to more or less, I'm assuming it was hot oil he was drinking and spraying at us because it didn't do anything to him. Basically, what he was doing was he was going around the kitchen every so often eating stuff. Like, I'm assuming it had to have been maybe a leg or something. I don't want to know, but he would stop every so often and grab a leg and munch on it, and then, of course, start swinging at us again with whatever he had in the kitchen. But he's big and he is nasty as hell. Ugh. Alright, the mechanical monstrosity. This was Frankenstein's creation thing. He used some of the Frankenstein himself used some of the castle to basically hide his experiments into life. I don't know if he ever brought the Frankenstein creature to life in this castle or not. It could be a very good possibility he might have at one point, which I doubt it. I really don't know. But yeah, he used these things, and I was right. I called him a scorpion. They actually was. Because these were actually, in a way, kind of like scorpions, basically using, basically the brain of a, well, I'm going to assume it was a baby of something. I don't know, because it looked like a baby. But yeah, basically this thing, well, I can see why nobody wanted to control this thing, especially Carmilla, because this thing just basically just killed anything. I'm glad I didn't have to fight more of these things. I mean, I only had to fight this one thing twice. If there was 3 of them, I was definitely using the crystal on these things. Alrighty, and here's the deadly toys that Laura had sicked on Gabriel, trying to kill him with them. Well, she used the toys to go after Gabriel. And basically she used these things, well, these things, they look like giant teddy bears with sewing needles up above them. That's what it looked like to me. But yeah, basically she had learned how to use a spell to basically make these things. And basically, since I used the crystal, I thought, I had an advantage, but apparently not. You have to basically kill these things from the inside. When I used the crystal on these things, Laura said, not bad, but I'm going to be making more of them. And that was when they started coming after me again. That was why you got to see the little red stuff. When I killed these things with the crystal, there was a red glowing around where they were standing. And they reformed in like 2 seconds. But yeah, it does say you can use the crystal on, but once you do it, they are definitely going to come back. But it's just, these things, they were annoying as hell. Ugh. Alright, here's Olrox. This is the brother of Bronner. These things were actually demons. And I don't know how Carmilla found them. I guess she opened up a temporary portal to hell and found these guys. And maybe she seduced them into basically doing whatever the fuck she wanted. And brought them up here to Earth, basically to the castle. And they basically, from there, basically started serving her. And basically, started doing whatever the fuck they wanted, under her rule. But yeah, Olrox, he was the one that basically he was using those Iron Maidens has snack packs. That's him. Because he had white hair. Bronner, I believe he had black hair. I think that might have been him. But yeah, Olrox, he was a pain in the ass. Okay, here's Carmilla. She was the only female founding member of the Brotherhood of Light. She's a very powerful healer. Yeah, she was a powerful healer. She was pure soul, and obviously she covered it up. She loved all living creatures. Basically, well, when her spirit went to heaven, her dark side was left behind, and basically her love of life and her purity, revealing her partial nudity, well, came to mind, and that's when she basically said, well, screw it, I'm gonna be a powerful Dark Lord bitch. And that's basically what she started doing. Ugh. And that's not gonna be the last time we see her. I mean, she is dead in a manner of speaking, but I'm just warning you, we will be seeing her again. Alright, here's the Vampire Dark Lord, her big bat-like form. In a way, it's kind of similar to Cornell's spirit, well, Cornell's darker side that emerged, like his animal side. Except with Cornell, he was more of the werewolf version, she's the vampire version. And of course, she had giant ass wings. I mean, I forgot that she had big old claws that looked like they could tear the H-E-double-L out of you. Probably sever your head off too, most likely. And basically, she was just ugly as hell. And basically, well, she could conjure up, as you've seen when we were fighting her, she could conjure up her minions all over that, anywhere in the castle to do whatever the fuck she wanted. Because it seemed like every time I turned around, they were just popping up everywhere, but it was really her bringing them out. Alright, here's the Headless Burrower that we encountered last time. I thought these were zombies, but no, they weren't. They were just the headless burrower things. Oh god, I forgot about this part. I'm sorry, I'm just reading this little bit right here. Wait, there's what, I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. They're what's left of the warriors of the Brotherhood? Oh god. Okay. Yeah, basically these things, well, since they lost their heads, that's why their heads were floating around. That's why their bodies were, well, their arms were trying to drag you into the ground so they could basically, kill you. Yeah, but these things, basically, they're what's left of some Brotherhood warriors that were just laying around, and I assume the Dark Lord of the Necromancers most likely brought these things to life, just to, basically bring anyone else into his fold, uh, by basically just using these things as puppets. Ugh. I can't stand these things. Okay, we're almost at the end of this, okay. Okay, Scarecrow. These were the things that, Baba Yaga said these things had the 3 keys to get to the music box. And as you've seen, well, to me, they look a lot like, well, they remind me in a way of Ghost Riders, just in a weird way, except they didn't have a motorcycle. They just had these giant size. They were fast as hell, and they would not leave you alone at all. These things were evil. And give me one moment. Yep, basically everything I just said, it was right there. Okay. These are the creeping corpse thingies. These are the things that, well, to me, I thought they were honestly, well, I thought they were just half zombies crawling around at first, but I was like, oh yeah, they're the creeping corpse thingies when I first seen them. Well, when I encountered them again. Basically, this is like a weird root that grows in the land of the dead, that basically fed on the carcasses of dead creatures, whether human or not human. And it basically, over time, well, basically turns it almost into like a zombie, almost. But basically controls them. And basically, it does control these things, but basically it goes for living creatures to devour. Basically, in a way, kind of like zombies, except that, these things have got roots, and if they get a hold of you, as you've seen when I fought them, they will wrap their, branches or vines, whatever they are, around you, and basically just kind of keep you pinned to where you ain't gonna be going anywhere. And try to suffocate you and try to eat you. Alright, here's the creeping coffins. And we're going to be encountering more of these things soon. Ugh. But yeah, as we were going through the Titan Graveyard, you seen me fighting these things. Basically, the creeping corpses, well, they like to eat on the corpses if they were buried in tombs, and eventually, well, they took possession of the coffin, and eventually, were able to control them and actually get them things moving around, basically like giant spiders, almost. Except they didn't bite you or anything. They were just more or less just slapping you with their legs, I assume. But these things are still kind of creepy. I don't like seeing things moving around anyway. Alright, here's the Silver Warrior that we had just fought. This is basically Pan. Basically, in a way, he's like a god to me. Like an old god. To me, well, reading up on him, basically in all kind of folklore and stuff, he is basically, to me, a old god. He doesn't really turn into the Silver Warrior form very often. He likes preferring peace, to basically protect any living being. And you basically put this armor on basically to test Gabriel and make sure that he knew what he was going to be doing, like basically putting his trust in him, basically just to see if Gabriel was worthy to do what had to be done. And yeah, basically, as you've seen, Pain sacrificed himself so that Gabriel could keep going. Because basically, from what I've been reading, only the blood of a god, basically an old god, could basically open a pathway for any warrior of pure light to continue on their journey toward, throughout the land of the dead, basically to go do what they are there to do. And that's basically what Pan was doing. And I just wonder if he knew all along after meeting Gabriel this is what he was going to do. Which I'm most certain he most likely did. We hadn't got to the zombie or the gravedigger or, well, not the Reaper, not the Necromancer, not the Dracolich Titan. Which that's basically, well, in short term, a dragon skeleton that we're going after. And, yeah. No spoilers about the rest of these guys, okay? And this is basically it for the character monster profiles that we've encountered so far. I'll be doing the rest of these, the last few, at the very end of the game, because I just don't want to spoil anything, and I'm trying my best to keep very tight-lipped. I know I did spoil about the Dracolich, about basically what that thing is, and that thing is not as bad. It's just the difficult thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be up in the air, having to hold the hell on and destroy runes, kind of like the Ice Titan. It's similar to him. But yeah, basically it's a little tricky because you're way up in the air. And it's a little chaos for a few moments, but yeah. We're going to be fighting him later on, but it's not as bad. So this is it for part 3 for the character monster profile, and I'll be doing the part 4 as soon as I can. I'll be doing it when I get done with doing all of this before I start the DLCs. So y'all just bear with me, and I'll get back with y'all as soon as I can about all this. Bye!